Hello and welcome back to Havoc. We're here on the army screen because someone actually made a pretty decent suggestion, which was to create our very own army and go after the enemy with that. Now, obviously, we have created an army in previous episodes, and it ended tragically. However, we're going to create another one right now, or I would if I actually had additional vassals, which I apparently don't, as you could quite clearly tell. They're already in another army, and that's basically it. I have no other vassals to rely on at this point. Unless I find a couple of companions that I can potentially welcome into my own clan, and then I can create parties out of them, but then obviously I have to donate my own units and so on and so forth. So, not entirely sure if we're going to be doing that right now. I do have a lot of influence, so I'm actually thinking, let's do this. This is perfect. This is only beneficial, as far as I'm aware. Oh, actually, influence cost of inviting people. That's fine. Yeah, what difference does that make, right? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. All right. So let's just take a quick look here. Everything seems decent. I'm gonna just see what other things people are saying that they want. Okay, 5% of the village income is paid to the ruler clan as tax. They like this. Okay. Apparently they like this. It said 100% support. I don't know. Was rejected by the support of the council. Right. Okay. Well, whatever the case, I'm basically just trying to spend a little bit of my influence to make things a little better for everyone involved. What about castle upgrade costs being reduced by 20%? That sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that sounds pretty cool. Anyway, we are hopefully going to be attacking... I'm going to assume Monchug, okay? I'm going to try to... I'm going to try and get Monchug, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult, so I'm not entirely sure if we can do it, but we're going to try our very best. Let's have a look. Gain 1 security, but lose 1 militia per day. That sounds pretty decent, I guess. Villages grant 0.2 influence per day to the owner clan as well. I think that sounds quite nice. So we'll do that. Town security is increased, and towns with a security greater than 60 yield 1 additional influence, but tax from towns is reduced by 5%. Apparently people are supporting this, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I mean, it seems pretty good, you know, security increase. I don't know. I mean, some of these things I haven't done any research on them whatsoever. I know a lot of people take these kinds of policies very seriously, and they generally tend to theory craft that stuff a lot. And if you see something that I do that you think, hey, you know what, maybe this could be done a little better or whatever, then by all means let me know. And hopefully we're going to be able to also persuade a couple of vassals. We're going to need to get their relation up, though. Someone actually mentioned that relation pays, well, should we say, makes no difference to whether vassals join you or not. And then they proceeded to show me a video that was made 2 years ago. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You could kind of see why that might not actually be applicable at this point in time, but it's fine, you know, maybe it still works like that, but it's been 2 years and the game has been in active development since that time, so probably not gonna say that that's what's happening right there, because I have seen with my very own eyes, with me playing this game for 2 years, that relation actually does make a difference, but who am I to say? I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing it right, you know? Maybe I am hallucinating in some aspect or another. Anyway, I'm actually going to be attacking this, these villagers right here. Basically just going to go in for an auto-resolve, and I'm not going to be taking any of them prisoner, of course, because that's not what we're going to do. But we are going to be attacking Monchug right here. He's going to be really annoyed at me right now. And I am going to very badly try to take McKeb. I can assume they're going to sally out as soon as a vassal appears out of nowhere. So I'm going to be I'm going to try to be very quick in constructing our trebuchets, and then we'll see whether this actually... oh, hello there. Okay, we're not going to be doing the siege apparently, because there is an army very, very close by. You can see, however... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. This guy means business. This guy means some very, very serious business. I was actually hoping that maybe we would be able to get into a battle with a slightly smaller vassal to begin with, but of course that's not going to be how it is. Oh yes, of course not. Okay, we'll try our best, shall we? We'll try our best and we'll see whether I can actually do something here. I'm going to be very, very careful. If we are actually going to end up losing, I will try to retreat as soon as I possibly can. You can see here that this guy's still defending McKeb. Not very good. Maybe I can... You know what? Maybe let's just swing around and see if there are any other vassals around here. I mean, we could potentially drag this guy all the way over to Ilatar, and then maybe he's going to help us out. I mean, I don't even know what kind of army Ilatar has, to be honest. He has some pretty decent units, but nothing amazing, as you can see. Yeah, okay, let's... Oh, is he gonna do it? Yeah, we're going in together. Fantastic. This is great. Okay, hello there, sir. Alright, wait a minute. Can I... Wait, is he the leader of his, No, he's obviously not the leader, but I was hoping that he was actually from the other clan, because there are two clans in, Oh, never mind. There are not two clans anymore, because we actually persuaded the other one to join us beforehand. This is an extremely even battle, as you can see right here. This is going to be real interesting. I'm not sure whether we're going to even be able to achieve anything, because they have so many horse archers. They really do. They have a massive amount. I have 194, however, so that is a pretty big amount in itself. So maybe I don't need to worry, you know? Maybe it's going to be easy. Maybe it's going to be nice. Maybe it's going to be simple. It's not going to be any of those things, is it? No, probably not. Probably not. Anyway, let's get my bow out, and I'll try and do a little bit of... No, that is not working as intended. I'd like to get a couple of actual hits on the riders of the horses, please. Not the actual horses themselves, if at all possible. Yes, never mind. Okay, auto-delegate is what we're going to rely on here, especially with the horse archers. Okay, wait a minute. I'm still wondering whether I should focus on the enemy's infantry and archers more than focusing on their cavalry. But the thing is, the main threat, I assume, is going to be from the cavalry and the enemy horse archers, of course. So in that way, I kind of feel like I am forced to focus on those guys. But I don't know. Maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get out my polearm here, try and run along the enemy's lines. Oh, this is actually fantastic damage we're doing here, but unfortunately I'm taking a massive amount of damage in the process too. That is not good. Come on, take him down. Take him down. Oh, he's just blocking like no one's business. How did he block all of that? I have no idea, but he was an absolute monster when it came to blocking. Okay. I guess he just held down the button. Yes. Oh well, never mind. It seems like we're actually... Wait a minute. I'm red, right? At the top of the screen? I'm red, because whenever I see these things and I think to myself, oh, we're winning, you know? It's kind of like, oh, that's amazing. We're actually winning, question mark? And then I look at the top, and then I get mixed up, because I'm actually looking at our opponent's bar, and I'm thinking that it's ours, you know what I mean? So I get mixed up between the two. But no, that is actually not the case this time. We are actually achieving something very, very nice indeed. And I might even be able to go into McKeb after this. I'm actually taking a couple of casualties now, which is not exactly great, but I might be able to go into McKeb after this and actually take it. But they do have over 900 units in the defense there. So it might be a little bit difficult. Well, I say a little bit, but it will definitely be difficult. It will definitely be one of those. Oh, this guy is wanting to leave the battlefield a little bit. Let's just see if I can snipe him. Nice, that was a good hit. Nice. Oh, that was okay. Okay, I'm surprising myself right now. Seems like the enemy is also doing... Wow, they're doing some nice damage actually with their archers. I really want to eliminate as many of these archers as I can. They have so many marksmen, which is definitely making everything much harder for us. So if I can get into their enemy lines and actually deal some damage with my polearm, I should be able to inflict enough morale damage to maybe force them into a retreat. I mean, they're already kind of relocating, repositioning right now, which is obviously going to help us to maintain the damage we're doing, because they're not going to be able to attack us when they're on the move. There we go. Right, I think that's probably it. I think that is actually probably it. I don't think we have anything to worry about from now. And I still have to say, I'm surprised about... Well, I can't say I'm surprised about that. Let's just say that, right? Yes, let's just say that. And yeah, do bear in mind that when I die in these situations, I think I have to reiterate and maybe stress upon this. When I die in these situations, I don't mind, okay? It's not it's not something that really affects me in a big way. I'm just like, ah, yes, that happened. And most of the time it is rather amusing, or at least I think it's rather amusing. And yeah, it's for the entertainment, you know? Because if, as I've seen some people say, if I stay on the edge of the battle. Let's say I stay on the edge of the battle and I just, you know, pepper the enemy with as many arrows and ranged abilities that I can. I mean, while that might be fun sometimes when you're actually getting some kills, when the infantry has very little defense in terms of having no shields, that can be enjoyable. But for the most part, I want to get stuck in there. I want to go in. I want to try and do some close range damage. And, well, that brings with it some inherent risks in regards to getting taken out. And for me personally, I do not care if I get myself eliminated. That is, you know, that is my thing. Like, if I get killed, then that's my problem. However, if you play the game, then obviously it is up to you whether you get eliminated yourself or not. That is the whole point about playing a game and not watching a movie, for example. If you were to watch a movie or a film or anything, you have no input on that, unless it's interactive, of course. Anyway, let me see what I can do here. I will probably be letting them go because I would like to potentially get some more relation with them. Maybe they can join us in the future. Obviously, this is very much a case of, well, maybe they will, maybe they won't, because they are part of the ruler faction, you see. Being part of the ruler faction obviously makes it a lot more difficult for them to join us in the end, because they are going to have to leave their faction before any kind of persuasion can take place, because otherwise I'm not ever going to be able to do that. I have been attempting to also improve my towns too. So whenever I improve a town, I'm aiming to get the town into some kind of stability. In other words, I'm trying to aim to get food increases and security increases. And you can see here that I already have food doing pretty well. You can see here that it's in the positive numbers. We have +10 on that, and security is actually doing quite well now too, because I did take the serfdom policy, which is increasing it by 1. Otherwise, we would be merely gaining 0.12, which would obviously not be extremely amazing. So yeah, anyway, after the granary, I'm probably gonna try and see if I can maybe get something a bit better. So I'm thinking I'd like to increase my prosperity if at all possible. Is that worth it though? That's the thing. I could go for fortifications. I could increase that. Nah. We'll go for food production. We'll go for some more food production for the moment. Loyalty is at 100, so I don't actually need to use Festival and Games anymore, but we're going to go for housing, and just in case these two are done, then housing will start to increase the settlement's prosperity by a pretty significant amount. So that's what we're going to do there. Going to sell my prisoners. Gonna go into the marketplace, because no doubt there's gonna be a whole bunch of, well, not much loot, actually. I actually thought there would be a lot more than that, but anyway, there we go. Anyway, 35,000. I should probably recruit some troops while I'm here. Actually, what's actually going on there? Wow, there's a lot. There are a lot of notables in this particular town. That's crazy good. Okay, I like it. Very nice. Give me a couple more of these, thank you. Very good, very good. Okay, so they are all done, and I'm actually wondering whether I can maybe persuade another clan to join us. Let's take a look at our friends real quick. So, what? Yeah, King Lording. I keep getting mixed up between Kurt and King Lording now as well. Okay, so Penton, obviously he's the ruler. That's not going to work. What about Tassanor? He's a vassal of Noretzi's. We might be able to... We might be able to get him... Possibly. I would still like to get Kanojan, but it looks very unlikely that I'm going to be able to get him. I'm going to try Tassanor, okay? We're going to try and send a messenger to him. If he's at war, however, he might be in an army, and in which case that's going to be very, very difficult for us to do anything with him, but we'll try nevertheless. And we're going to go into an actual manual battle with Monchug here, because I'd like to try and level up my forces in a slightly safer fashion, because I found that while auto-resolving is obviously so much faster, it does make it a little more, well, should we say a little riskier. Because of course you're going to, you know, take many more casualties. And in this way, we're hopefully going to get some decent skill ourselves too. If I can actually hit something, I'm not entirely sure. There we go, there we go. There's a nice hit right there. Oh, that was an even better one. Thank you very much. Okay. Can I get some more of those, please? I would appreciate it. Although, to be fair, I do actually have some pretty decent ranged and riding skills already. I'd like to get to 275, though. 275 in bows would be real good. That does give me that last bow archery perk, which is definitely going to make a huge difference to our accuracy, damage, and so on. I think our... actually, I'm not entirely sure. Does it increase accuracy or does it increase speed and damage? Might be speed and damage, actually. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've been an archer, but yeah, well, never mind. We'll find out when we get to 275. Ooh, yeah. They play very, very defensively when I get my polearm out. Although, to be fair, I suppose that is... You know, I mean, come on. You see a guy with a relatively dangerous-looking polearm, and you think to yourself, "Oh yes, I should probably defend myself." You know, I mean, what do I expect them to do? You know, they're just going to lower their shield? No, of course. Ooh, yeah, take out that marksman. Thank you. That guy was just about to shoot me in the face, probably eliminate me in the meantime as well. And I actually really like this battlefield. Got to say, I actually really like this battlefield. Super nice to fight on. And kind of an uncommon sight to see. This is not usually something that we fight on, to be fair. So I actually really like that. It's one of the, it actually, you know what? It actually reminds me of Botanian lands, but it is not clearly in Botanian lands. We're right next to McKeb, pretty much. So yeah, that's actually super nice to see that. Anyway, we basically took no casualties whatsoever. Super nice to see that too. And that means that I am now going to have, well, free upgrades, basically. I'm getting free upgrades, 31 troops, and I can also take the prisoners. I actually don't know whether I will take prisoners. I think I will, because I'm probably going to go over to Ortengard, because I'm wondering whether it might be a better idea for us to focus on Chaikand first, rather than McKeb. I could always take Tepesh Castle, actually. That would make more sense, I feel. Don't you think? I think that actually might make more sense, because Tepesh Castle is right there. And it connects the two fiefs that we have, because we have Baltakand and, of course, we have Ortengard. So it would actually make more sense for us to take the castle than it would be to take a town, even though the town is admittedly going to have much more prosperity associated with it. Anyway, there's something I'd like to discuss. What do you think of your liege? Unfortunate. Okay, yes. He is indeed in an army, so I will be unable to speak to him. He has 9... Okay, hello there, Tassinor. He has 904,000. 904. Yes, 904,000. I had to say that multiple times just to have it register in my head because I thought to myself, this is this is one of those times where I think to myself, how amazing for an AI to have this much money. It's unheard of. It really is. It's unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen a vassal have this much money unless I've given it to them beforehand. Maybe. Maybe? I'm not entirely sure if I've seen that before, but oh well, never mind. Whatever the case, we'll continue on. We'll continue on with our plan, which is to unite this particular area under one banner, obviously. We're going to try to take Tepesh Castle, I suppose, first. I'm going to go to Baltacan real fast just to offload... Wait a minute. What's going on here? Offload our prisoners, I was going to say. Aha, okay. So you can see here that Penton is actually declaring war on another faction. Oh, actually, saying that, I would like to create an alliance. Now, here's the thing. Me creating an alliance, it's very difficult to do that, okay? It's very difficult to do that. I might be able to do it with Neretzes because I have previously spoken to them. They have pretty decent relation with me. As you can see, Penton really likes us a lot. But you can see here, this faction is not interested in forming an alliance with us. And I gotta say, I'm very disappointed. I am very, very disappointed by that. I would pay, well, I don't know, any amount of influence, because I have 600, so I should, you know, I could pay 500 influence or something like that, and I would be happy to pay any amount of gold as well to form an alliance with someone, because I think that would be really fun. But you can see here, if I click through all of the clans, even though I want to form an alliance, it's actually not going to work, because it's just grayed out. The option is just grayed out, and there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. I could form a pact, though. You could see here, I can form a non-aggression pact that lasts 100 days, which might actually make sense with Mr. Lucon here. He is the owner of Diathma and Argeron. I think that might actually make sense, because we did marry his daughter, if you recall. We actually married Zoana. And she's obviously no longer with us, R.I.P. in peace. And yes, anyway, I'm gonna form a non-aggression pact with the Ostakos here, and then maybe, just maybe, in a little bit of time, they might decide, hey, you know what? Let's make an alliance with those Kurtjits. Maybe they'll, yeah, maybe they'll do something along those lines. I highly doubt it, to be fair, but who knows? What about Neretzes? Do they also... no, they don't care about non-aggression pact. Okay, well, there you go. I tried. I know someone actually did suggest making an alliance with one of the other clans, but I've had experience with that in the past where I've attempted to do something like that, and every single time I go to that menu, most of the buttons, if not all of them, are completely grayed out, which is very sad, to be honest. I would love to be able to have more diplomatic options in that regard, and definitely creating an alliance would be making a whole deal of sense right now as well. It would be super, super fun to do that, but yeah, as you saw, it is currently not available. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. 460, actually, well, it's reducing pretty quickly right now because they have no food here. Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that when we take over, of course. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to get my trebuchet. Should I even bother getting my trebuchets up and running? Because it's just ballistas. You know what? I'm going to destroy the walls. They're only level 1 walls. I should be able to repair these with, shall we say, somewhat minimal difficulty. Or at least I hope it's going to be minimal difficulty. Monchug's running by there with 199 troops already. I actually wonder how much money Monchug has now. Because last time we saw him, at the very beginning of the game, almost, he had, what was it, 200 and something thousand? Yeah, so he's probably got at least, I don't know, I really have no idea. Maybe he's got at least 1 million now. I really have no clue. But yeah, it would be pretty fun to find out. So maybe once we have completely obliterated his entire faction, we will be able to go up to him and say, "Hello there, sir. Would you mind telling me what's in your purse?" Can you imagine? Can you imagine a real-world situation of that? You know, that would just be absolutely hilarious. Okay. Anyway, what's Ilatar doing right now? I'm a bit worried about him, to be honest. He seems to be running around with a very small army. Huh. Okay, well, whatever the case, if he decides to do that, then that's up to him. And in the meantime, I'm just going to bombard the walls here as much as I can. We're not even going to bother constructing any other siege. Actually, let me do that, just so that I can get a little bit of extra engineering skill. If it actually works. I mean, it didn't. But let's just destroy that last little bit of the walls and that last ballista. Can we actually destroy all the ballistas? Yeah, there we go. Okay, all the ballistas are now down. 353 enemies remaining in the garrison, and both walls have been destroyed. So this is going to be pretty easy. Oh, I forgot to take away this. Can I actually? Yes, there we go. I can actually take away the battering ram while in the setup screen. I love that. That's really, really nice. Okay, you can still deploy siege engines, begin anyway. Actually, I don't care about these siege engines. I'm going to remove them. What's actually going on here with the UI? UI is... What is this? Look at this. Are you serious right now? Look at... Okay, wait a minute. I have to move and then select it. Oh, okay. Interesting. I can't move the camera in any way while I have this selected. Okay, hopefully they're going to work on the functionality of that. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I don't really care about having siege engines out right now because there's no point. You know, we have the walls down. This is basically the easiest thing that we possibly can get. And maybe, just maybe, I might be able to use those trebuchets again. I'm actually not sure. This is one of those times where I haven't really tested out a particular game mechanic. And I am in a situation where I'm completely in the dark. You know, I'm completely in the dark about that. Because what happens if you save a couple of siege engines and you put them into your reserves? Can you use them elsewhere? Because I'd highly doubt that would be the case, right? I highly doubt that, because why would they allow you to, you know, well, basically put trebuchets into your item box? You know, why would they allow you to put them into your item box and then carry them around with you on your journeys throughout the entirety of Calradia? There's no way they're going to allow you to do that, right? Well, I suppose we're going to find out when we get over to Chaikand or Makeb, and we'll see if I need to construct some additional trebuchets, because of course we're going to be taking down the walls in almost every single one of these sieges. I think it's just way too powerful for us not to do it. So yeah, that's generally what we're gonna attempt, at least. Oh wow, I'm doing very well with this polearm right now, as you can quite clearly tell. I'm hitting everything. I didn't miss 3 times in a row or anything like that. No, absolutely not. Oh yes, very good. Anyway, wait a minute. Any enemies up here? No, doesn't seem like it. Okay, interesting. I would have expected there to be at least a couple here. Oh, that's strange. Okay, it must have been that they all just retreated. I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest. I would probably be in a similar situation where I'd think, I'm out of here, you know? But, yeah, there we are. Easy victory for us, because the walls were down, of course. And this guy, we can take him prisoner if we want to, but I'm not going to do that. And we can now take all of the prisoners as well. And 35 upgrades, too. Very nice to see that. Okay, show mercy. I'm going to take ownership of the castle, and then I might actually be giving it to Ilatar once again, because I think he does own a castle relatively nearby, so it might make sense. But I just wanted to do a couple of upgrades for it beforehand. And you can see here, look at how terrible the upgrades are on this thing. It's absolutely awful. So what we're going to do is we're just going to completely cancel all of this stuff, and then we're going to get Siege Workshop. I want the Siege Workshop because I want to be able to repair the walls, and then we can also go for a wall upgrade as well. Let's actually just slap a huge amount of money in here right now too, and I think we're pretty good now. I actually, you know what? Let me do a little bit more here. Let me do a little bit more. So let me actually just get these things. Yeah, let's do that as well. There we go. Okay, so I'm just basically trying to queue up as much stuff as possible so that if Ilatar doesn't actually do anything and he's a bit of an imbecile about how he manages his fiefs, then I can sort of rest easy in the knowledge that I've done what I need to do and then it's all good. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a little bit easier for me in that aspect, because then I think to myself, oh yes, everything's fine there because I know I did it myself, so I don't have to rely on the AI just in case they do something a bit silly, because sometimes they do. Anyway, I'm actually wondering whether to put all the prisoners in here or whether to sell them. I think I will probably sell them because I don't want Tepesh Castle to get taken back almost instantly. And then for whoever takes it to regain a massive army just by rescuing all of those troops. That would be real bad. That would be real bad. So yeah, hopefully we don't have to see that happen. I would very much hope that Ilatar, who I'm now going to be awarding this fief, by the way, we are... wait a minute, how do I do this again? Ah, yes. Here we go. Where is Tepesh Castle? There it is. Let's gift it to this guy. And there we have it. Okay, so now he has 3 fiefs. He has Urix Kala Castle and Kesar Castle. And he now has that. I lost the generous trait once again. I find it... I don't know, I find the traits a bit weird, to be honest, because I think to myself, well, I mean, why is it so flip-floppy, if you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to manage my very own faction here. Do I care whether I have the generous trait or not? I mean, I'm not entirely sure what it even does at this point either. You know, it feels to me like it's a little bit... I'm not sure on the word to describe it, to be honest, but it feels a little bit redundant, potentially, because I think to myself, well, I mean, you know, I have to make certain... Oh, no. He got defeated. Oh, dear. Yes, I have to make certain concessions, I have to make certain decisions, and generally I want to make them as fast and as efficiently as possible. And if I lose a trait because of that, then, well, then that's just it, you know. That's just how it has to be, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm not going to be making peace with these guys yet. I mean, look, too many of our... Oh my, that is actually so funny. Okay, the reason why he's saying this, you know the reason why he's saying this? Because he is the one that got himself taken prisoner along with our only other vassal. I only have 3 vassals, including myself. I think there might be another one, actually. I think Achaku might also be a vassal. But the point is, 2 out of 3 of the vassals have been taken prisoner, and no, we're not going to be we're not going to be making peace right now. That would be an utter travesty, in my opinion. That would be so bad for us to do that right now. We could technically receive 2,400 tribute per day, which would be really good, but thinking on it, I mean, really, that's just not going to work, in my opinion. It's just so bad for us to do that. Okay, so Chagan, I would like to be able to attack Chagan if I can. There he is. He's gone up here now. And we can attack him. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Now let's go into... I'm literally just going to go into an auto-resolve. I want to get that out of the way really fast. I want to get him defeated quickly, and then we're just going to upgrade and go straight on. I think going on to McKeb would probably make the most sense. Chaikand is a bit too far. Ilatar has now been released, so hopefully he's going to stop complaining. And he's going to stop, you know, proposing peace to get himself freed. I mean, I would have been happy to pay his ransom, to be honest. But, oh well, never mind. Okay, so, Monchug's... Whoa, he has 345. Yeah. He has 345 in his army right now. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to be doing battle with him in just a second. Let's just take a quick look at my perks real quick. I did actually level up too. Okay, so wait a minute. What do I want to go for here? Well, probably leadership a little bit more. And then we'll just go for... I'm actually not entirely sure what attribute point, where I should place it. Oh well. We have a 250th perk in Charm. You gain double relations with the Lord when you aid them in battle. That's actually pretty useful. And otherwise, we have Tactics 75. So let's have a look here. Plus 10 to party size. That could be useful, so I think I'm probably going to be taking that. Plus 10 to party size. And now we need our attribute points. I'm probably going to be increasing Vigor, but I'm not sure. I think I will do that. There we go. All right. Let's do this. Let's go and fight Monchug. It is me against him, and, well, he has Bortu on his side, but, well, we kind of know how Bortu is. He's, you know, not really known to be one of the strongest vassals in the world. Ooh, but we do get to fight on a wonderfully picturesque battlefield. Super nice. I like this one. Now, this is also the reason why I really love this battlefield, to see the... I don't know, to see the picture of all of these horse archers just roaming, riding, marauding, whatever you want to call it, over this particular piece of scenery. Just the picture that you get out of that is just amazing. And that's the kind of battle that you want to get yourself in. You know, these are the kinds of battles that Bannerlord really excels at, in my opinion, because, well, I mean, technically it excels at all of the battles, really. I mean, you know, it does a very good job of giving you the battle feeling, you know. It gives you that battle feeling, it gives you the feeling of, you know, I'm in this battle as a soldier, slash general, slash whoever, and that you are a very minor part of a very large machine, you know. It kind of gives you that feeling. Of course, if you have this situation where all of your units are basically, all of my units at least, are running around randomly, then of course maybe you're not going to get that much of a feeling as a result of it. But if they're all running around together in an absolutely wonderfully coordinated formation, then you get that feeling in spades. And it also happens if of course you're using archers en masse, or even using infantry en masse. But of course, because most of my forces are on auto-delegate right now, it is making things a little bit more disorganized, because many of the enemy's units are also on horses and they're running around, and my forces are trying to eliminate them, and so on and so forth. So it's a bit more of a spread out skirmish, but it still gives you that wonderful feeling of being part of that battle, and you have to try and survive. You have to try and survive, you have to try and eliminate as many units as you can get your hands on, and generally, again, that's what Bannerlord does really well. They've really nailed the combat down really nicely, with the exception of those times when the AI is a bit silly, when they completely ignore you, for example, in a siege. You know, sometimes that happens, and, you know, that's absolutely fine, because no doubt they're going to be continuing to work on that, and obviously it is a work in progress. Anyway, let me see if I can... Ooh, yeah, now that's the point, you see. Those are the kinds of situations that I have to be very careful of, and I definitely have to be a bit more careful of in the future too, because I've done that many times now, where I've thought to myself, let's see if I can get some more kills with my polearm, and I wade in to many units that actually have polearms, and of course, because we are fighting the Crusade, they generally have a lot more polearms than normal. You know, generally, if you're going to be fighting, for example, the Empire, they might have a couple of users of polearms, because they do have some infantry units that specialize in them, but for the most part, you might not see them as much. At least, that's from my perspective, of course. Maybe you are going to see quite a few, dependent on what kind of troop quality your opponent has, because maybe they'll have a bunch of Manavlions or something like that, and in which case you're going to see a whole bunch of polearms in that case. Because this thing I'm using right now, that's a Manavlion. Yeah, I love these things. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So, for example, charging straight on in right there, the Crusade Spearman, that's a tier 2 unit. Isn't that a tier 2 unit or a tier 3 unit or something like that? They literally get those straight away. They get those spears straight away. So they are, while they are, in my opinion, very good cavalry-based units, they also have a bunch of very low tier, very cheap, very easy to train. Shall we say, not really shock infantry, but they're kind of anti-cavalry infantry for a very cheap price. and they basically don't take any time whatsoever to level up. So if you're up against Crusade, for example, or an army that is mostly consisting of cavalry, then you could probably rely on Crusade spearmen quite often to do the business that you need them to do. And obviously that's only if you have very limited resources at your disposal. I don't know whether there are any other factions that really give their low-tier infantry spears that early on, but maybe there is. I don't really... that's the thing. I don't really like using spear infantry myself. I'm much more a person that prefers heavy infantry, such as the Sturgian Heavy Axeman, for example. They're really, really nice because they have massive shields, they have thrown weapons, they have an easy-to-use melee weapon, and in those cases, I'd much prefer an easy-to-use melee weapon over a spear, because if they have a spear, it's pretty much only good against enemy cavalry in comparison to being good against almost everything. And of course, I'm saying that the sword or the axe they have, that's probably not going to be very good against cavalry, but against everything else, yeah, it's going to be pretty decent. Anyway, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take McCabe in this episode, but we have eliminated and reduced the enemy's combat strength by such a significant amount that I think they are so far on the back foot now that I don't think they're really going to have much choice in us attempting to take McCabe next time. And we're going to be able to take McCabe and Chaikand in one fell swoop. I'm very much hoping that I'll be able to take McCabe almost instantaneously at the start of the next episode, and then we'll go straight on down to Chaikand and take that too. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.